Yep. Yes, sir. Give me a second here. I need to do this. So anyway, yeah, I'm uploading a video now, which I got cut off while I was doing the video, but I figured I'd post it since I'm just posting everything. I'm just do videos and I'm posting them. I don't see what the point is in trying to do a channel that's like a conventional a conventional approach to a YouTube channel. To me, it's just pointless. I'm just doing what I want to do. Like what's his name? What's his name? Thelonious Monk said, "Don't do what people want. Do what you want. Let the people catch on." I agree with that. So that's how I've always done a channel that way. This channel actually is even going more outside the box though, because with my last channel I did have a very specific focus. In this channel I'm just doing whatever I want. Which is pretty much meant to be. I think it's meant to be. If I am going to do something like this, I might as well do it like whatever I want instead of, what I want, but only within a specific subject. So that's a good segue into what this video is about, is what I want. So I'm uploading this video right now, and I was doing the video and I got cut off. So I'm just going back into it, and it's about free speech. So I don't believe that there's free speech. I don't believe there is. That's just bullshit, dude. It really is bullshit. The idea is great. Something to strive for, that's a great ideal to strive towards, Actually, Gandhi made a joke. Gandhi made a joke about, they asked him what he thought about the Western world. And he said, I think that's a great idea. I think that would be a great idea. It's like, there isn't the Western civilization. That's what they asked him. They said, what are your thoughts on the Western civilization? He said, I think that would be a really good idea. Like basically saying there is no civilized. Civilized? You think you're civilized? Yeah. The West thinks that they're civilized, right? Yeah. He's like mock in jest. He's like, yeah, that's ideal. That would be ideal. That Western civilization. It was a great comeback. But anyway, free speech. That sounds great. That sounds like a really good idea. But does that mean because it's a good idea that it exists and we have it? No, not at all. Like, why would you think that just because it's a good idea that it's happening? Have you ever seen a good idea actually happen? Very rare. And when it does happen, it don't last very long, does it? So, no, I don't believe in free speech any more than someone might not believe in the voting system. So people claim I don't believe in the voting system, therefore they don't vote, which is fine. But then they also take it to the next extreme, which is that all voters are stupid sheeple. Okay. And so, in a way, this may be retaliation to that. And I'll tell you one reason why I would retaliate against that is because I have friends that vote. And so you're telling me my friends are stupid. Maybe your friendships with people don't mean anything, but my friendships with people, are meaningful. And a lot of my friends will fucking die for me, and I will for them. And you're calling them stupid? You're calling my friends that vote stupid. And when I challenge you on this, and I say, really, maybe you should think about that statement. You're saying that everybody that votes is stupid. And if you just stand by that and be like, yep, that's right, well then first of all, that proves that you're wrong, because I know people personally that I'm close friends with that are far from stupid that do vote, and are much more intelligent than your average person claiming that all voters are stupid. Anybody that says that all voters are stupid just shows how stupid they are. So it's just, but see, but they'll never admit it. They'll never be like, yeah, you know what? And in that sense, I think you're right. I may be against voting, and and maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong, but that doesn't mean that because I'm against voting that means that everybody that disagrees with me is stupid. Maybe you're right. Yeah, I was just being hyperbolic. Whatever. No, these people, they want to cling to this like it's the truth, and that's what it's like. But anyways, so I think that people that believe that freedom, that we have free speech, are not, they don't really know what's really going on. Again, that's a nice thought to think that, but it doesn't really exist. And I can pull quotes from famous, intelligent people who have said the same thing. Frank Zappa, the illusion of freedom. The illusion of freedom will continue as long as it is profitable to maintain the illusion of free speech. The illusion of freedom of free speech will continue as long as it is profitable to maintain the illusion of free speech. As soon as it is no longer profitable to maintain the illusion of free speech, they will just push the chairs and tables to the side. They will pull the curtains, and everyone will see the brick wall at the back of the building and realize there is no fucking free speech. So free speech doesn't, sorry, man. But you'll have all these people talking as if that free speech is a real thing. And that it's absolute. It's just absolute thing that we all have free speech. Absolute. There's no arguing or debating it. Well, that's stupid. The same as the person who says, with totally absolute, that it's a totally absolute that anybody that votes is stupid. Then that's just absolute. There is no exception. No, nothing. It's all. That's just what it is. These are the stupidest people that say these things. So. I'm sorry. Until they can actually admit that they don't know. They don't know what they're saying. They don't know this. These are absolute concrete statements. Like, they don't know. But they just like to pretend that they know. So anyways, talking about freedom of speech. So I'm thinking about disabling the comments in the comments section, and only because of my overall experience on platforms. So I've run a channel for like 6 years, and so I've had a lot of, and I was averaging like 2 or 3 videos a week for 6 years. And they're my videos of me talking into a camera, not just that's all I ever did. 3-4 videos a week of this right here, just and so, and just putting my face out there, that's a big enough risk in and of itself, let alone sharing my thoughts and views on controversial things. I mean, that's also a risk. So to also, on top of that, allow people to just kind of like critique my videos when they're just armchair critics usually. Like, have they ever done one video like in the format that I'm doing? No, never. They never will, because they're too afraid to show their face, too afraid to express their views. And yet I'm going to have the comment section open where they can just, just critique what I'm doing any old time they feel like it. So I'm debating, and the reason is because it would be so much easier. So now I'd like to go into some things that I enjoy about YouTube. Okay, so like people are all butthurt about YouTube, which I get because I got kicked off of YouTube. But at the same time, these platforms that they're on, they're just as bad as YouTube. And that's when I just roll my eyes whenever I hear them start complaining as if BitChute is any better. I ran my channel on BitChute for like 3 years, and it's no better than YouTube. I mean, in some ways it's worse, and in other ways it's better, but relatively speaking, it's no different. It's the same bullshit. So some things that I actually like about YouTube is that if somebody downvotes my video, I don't have to look at it. Downvote it all you want. I don't want upvotes or downvotes. I don't want any votes. I don't want to or I want the option of being able to not see them. Like, just remove them from my view. If other people want to see how many upvotes or downvotes I got, I don't care. Like, I think there should be an option where me as the person running the channel can remove the voting ratio from my site. Whereas other people, they can see them and do all they want. They can up it or down it as whatever they want to do. I don't care, but I don't want to see any of it. I don't care what people think. And what YouTube does is forces people to have, forces the person running the channel to have to look at the upvotes and downvotes. Well, what about content creators that don't care what anybody thinks? I think there should be an option where the person can block the view from themselves, so they don't have to look at what people are whether people like it or not. Like, why do I care? I'm not doing what the people want. I don't care what people want. I'm doing what I want. So I don't want to look at how many upvotes I'm getting versus how many downvotes I'm getting. And all that does is fuck my head up. It makes me lose track of my thoughts. It's just a distraction. It's just an unnecessary, unneeded distraction that I don't want. So you know how it's in the corner down here. It's like, I don't want that. If YouTube wants to have it so that everyone else can see it, I don't care. I just don't want to see it. But one thing I do like about YouTube is you can't see the downvotes. And so since I don't get any upvotes anyways, I mean, I'm not really seeing upvotes because I don't get any, which is fine. But I don't have to see the downvotes, so I'm not seeing them. So, and that's one thing that I've always wanted. Like, I remember when I was running a BitChute channel, I was thinking, I don't care if people upvote or downvote my shit. I just don't want to look at it because it's just a distraction. And then when it's sitting right there, I don't want to see it. Like, everyone else can see it all they want. I should have the option of removing it from my screen so that I don't have to look at it because I don't care, right? And so some other things that I like about like YouTube, like people can't come on my like there's more censorship on here, which is funny. I think that's funny because like on BitChute, where they proclaim there is no censorship, most people abuse free speech. So that's how censorship is employed on the BitChute platform. Is there's like 80% of all the participants on BitChute intentionally abuse free speech. And so how is that any better than like a platform censoring free speech? It's not. It's the same thing. If you start up a website and it's like where it's free speech, there's no censorship unless it's something illegal. Outside of that, it's there's no censorship. It's free speech. And then your platform gets flooded with like 80% of people whose only intention of using free speech is to abuse free speech. That's all they want to do with it, is just abuse it. as a mockery of free speech, out of mocking free speech. Well, that's the exact same thing as censoring. You might as well just censor, because nobody's going to want to engage in any discussion. That is how you censor people, is just go in and start abusing free speech. That is the equivalent of censoring. You know, like, to defend someone's right to abuse free speech, that's not what, you don't have the right to abuse free speech. You have the right to use free speech, but not to abuse it. If your intention is just to abuse free speech in an attempt to shut free speech down, if you want to shut free speech down, start abusing it. And if you want to be effective at shutting free speech down, get a big, large group of a bunch of people that are against free speech and coordinate massive, like, flash, what do they call those? Flash mobs. Coordinate large groups of flash mobs to go into free speech platforms and intentionally abuse free speech. And that, you will shut free speech down. You will. That's how you shut free speech down. So here's a pro tip to anybody who's against free speech. If you're against free speech, the way to shut it down is just to abuse it. Openly and brazenly abuse it as much and as often as you possibly can. And if you really want to expedite the process of censoring free speech, coordinate large flash mobs of people to go into free speech platforms and have them just intentionally abuse free speech on those platforms in any and every way possible and imaginable, as often as possible, in every thread, comment section thread, etc., as you can on that free speech platform. And that'll censor any meaningful discourse that's going on in those platforms. And so that's what BitChute does. BitChute is just this massive place where they all just abuse free speech, and they think it's funny, and it's mostly useful idiots, but a lot of agents and agent provocateurs that stir it up. And of course they have coordinated flash mobs in there as well, and everything else. And it's just like at least 90% of all BitChute's participants just intentionally abuse free speech as often and loudly and as they possibly can, in every way they possibly can. That's all it is. And then people are on there saying that it's a free speech platform. That's not a free speech platform. That's bullshit. That's another illusion. Just like Frank Zappa said, the illusion of freedom. The illusion of the freedom of speech will continue as long as it is profitable to maintain the illusion of freedom of speech. As soon as the illusion of freedom of speech is no longer profitable, they will just push the tables and chairs aside and pull the curtains back, and you'll see the brick wall at the back of the building. Well, go hang out on BitChute and you'll see the brick wall at the back of the building, so it's no different than being on YouTube. So the thing I like about YouTube is all those people that the only thing they want to do is abuse free speech. They try to do that on YouTube, and YouTube will censor them. It's hilarious. So anyways, I like that. I like that about YouTube. Those are some things I like about YouTube. So I'm also, because I don't believe in free speech, and everybody's all about what they believe in. It doesn't matter about facts. It's just what they believe. So if you believe voting isn't real, then it doesn't matter. You don't have to prove it. You don't have to show facts that it isn't real. As long as you believe it's true, then in your mind it is. And everybody that disagrees with you is stupid. And that's the way everybody wants to interact on social media. And everybody, they all think it's clever and intelligent to think this way. Well, maybe I should do the same thing with my belief on free speech, because I don't believe free speech is free. So since I don't believe that speech is free, and there really is no freedom of speech, why would I keep a comment section open for people to comment on my videos? You know? And so I don't know. I'm still debating this. I went, like I said in my last video, I went through to try to figure out. I was just going to disable comments, but I haven't figured out how to disable comments yet, so I don't know how much it's worth to me. Maybe it'll get to a point where I will just be like, nah, I'm gonna, you know, I'm going to get off my ass and try to figure out how to disable comments. And the reason for disabling comments, it has nothing to do with any one individual at all. What it has to do with is my 6+ years experience running a fucking channel where I'm doing 3 to 4 videos a week in the format that you see me doing right now. When you haven't had that kind of experience, you understand a lot more the way the game works than just a passive user who doesn't really do videos and just likes to go comment on other people's videos. It's not the same thing at all. It's totally different. So, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I don't know. It's not that big of a deal, but like I said, if I could have figured out how to disable comments today, they would be disabled right now. But anyways, I don't know, just a thought. And yeah, but again, like going into more reason, it's already 20 minutes long, is that just as the thumbs up and thumbs down are just a distraction from me, that I would rather just have the option of reversing that so I don't have to look at it. You can look at it all you want. I don't care either way, so I can just turn it around and not have to look at the thumbs up, thumbs down ratio. Comments is the same. All comments do is like distract me from what it is that I'm trying to do and what I want to do, you know. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know.